What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Navs Effect podcast. I'm your host, Naveen Ganglani. We're recording this on a Friday, July 11th. So happy weekend to all of you. I hope you guys have a good Saturday and Sunday coming up. And on Sunday, we are going to have the semifinals of the FilOil preseason basketball tournament, where I'm going to check the score now because we're recording this late in the fourth quarter. DLSU is up by 18 with 57 seconds to go, Nico. So I think we can assume that the Green Archers are going to advance. They're going to face UP on Friday in the semifinals. DLSU UP in the
Early,
semis.
no?
I know. And then UST NU
Paaga.
low key, a very underrated matchup too, with the Final Four, a Final Four preview, I should say, because with these two Final Four contenders, I first have to apologize. I think it was one of our podcast recordings, Siguro, after the first UP DLSU game, where we were excited. We were kind of hyped because we were like, oh, there are going to be 10 DLSU UP matchups in 2025 when you count all the tournaments they have, FilOil, WUBS, and
Yeah,
UAAP going until the end of the year. But it looks like that's not going to happen for a few reasons. One is because UP lost twice in the elimination round. They are now bracketed with
actually.
DLSU. It's going to be a semis matchup that will have the flavor and excitement of a finals matchup on Sunday. And then the FilOil finals, which was originally scheduled as a best of three, that's now kind of not sure yet. They're still gonna determine if it's gonna be just a knockout match or a best of three. So we'll see what happens there. And then of course we don't know the format of the WUBS yet in terms of who's gonna advance where. But we got a big matchup, two big matchups on Sunday. First, let's go to some of the recent performances. Nico, I've been hearing this question more and more as of late, right? And the signs kind of point to it. So it's not like we're saying this without any proof or data. But the question that's become more apparent recently is DLSU the top team heading into the UAP season? Now we still have a few months left. The FilOil is not the UAP, but early into, well, not early, but late rather, into the college off season and heading into the college basketball season. UAP, I believe, is scheduled to start September 20 or 21.
Oo.
So we still have about, give or take, 2.5 months left. But would we say as early as now that DLSU is the top ranked team heading into the UAP?
I've been saying it na Lasa has been the consistent number one team in the UAP right now, especially in the summer leagues that we've been observing them in. I believe they haven't lost yet sa Phil Oil. Did they lose in Asia Basket? No, diba? They didn't lose in Asia Basket as well.
Undefeated.
Is there a game that they have lost? I don't
I
remember.
Pinoy Liga, I think they lost to Ayak
Oh well,
in
that's
yeah, yeah.
was is that well, that's different. I mean, 'di ba? I'm talking about like yung majority team A siguro na intact, like how they fielded in Asia Basket and here in Philoil. But that's super clear right now, Navs, na LaSalle is slowly separating themselves from UP heading into this season. Especially with Kian
So
Baclan and
yeah.
Cortez meshing together. Paulit-ulit natin sasabihin yan. Because those two run the show. Also with Mason Amos as well, being the reliable third option from time to time. Oh, wait. I forgot about Mike Phillips. Mike Phillips, of course, definitely the heart and soul of LaSalle and also a consistent 15 and 15 guy. And of course, Mason Amos will always be there in that conversation as very loaded DLSU squad wanting revenge after a disappointing runner-up finish.
So as we're talking, Mike Phillips finished with 9 points and 7 rebounds on one of six field goals shooting, only a rare, very off night for Mike against Arellano, who doesn't have an FSA, so that's more surprising. But you look
Yeah.
at the rest of the team, Amos with 15 off the bench on 83% shooting, Baclan with 12 off the bench, plus 10 rebounds. We also know that he's a great dishman when he wants to set up his teammates. Cortez just 9 points, 6 assists, Marsigan 9, Makalalag 12, Pablo at 7. It's a deep DLSU team. And I wrote this down in the UST versus LaSalle game the other day. I got to watch that game live on FilOil. I wanted to go there talaga. I made it a point to go there because I thought that it would be an entertaining game. And I know the final score makes it seem like DLSU won comfortably. Let me tell you, up to like the halfway point of the fourth period, that was not a guaranteed win. That was a close game, nip and tuck, back and forth. But one thing that I noticed more so now, especially after we've seen DLSU play more games, is Nico, they're not only a deep team, they're a deep team with versatility. And what do I mean by
Yeah.
that? They're a very malleable team in terms of they can look at the roster of the opposing team and they can find Coach Topex and his staff can find the pieces to put together a lineup, a unit that would counter the opposing team just because their players are multi-dynamic, right? So they also have their own team identity and team personality that they want to establish when they face opponents. But at the same time, if Coach Topek sees the other team like go with a certain unit or go with a certain style, he's like, okay, I'm gonna papulutin ko to, lalagay ko this combo, and they're gonna make it work. Like that game against UST, I believe they started with Amos and Pablo, and then they had Mike come off the bench with Baklaan. And then to start the third quarter, it was Amos and Phillips and Baklaan naman together. So Coach Topex isn't just relying on a strict rotation or a strict lineup. He's going depending on what the game tells him is needed. He's going depending on the opponents are doing. And once in a while, if he wants to establish a certain style of play, he'll put a certain type of lineup. We kept talking about how with Cortez and Baclan, you have these penetrating guards, and now you have all the spacing with Amos, with Makalalag, with Marasigan, you have Mike rolling to the rim. And you're seeing all those pieces come together because they've been playing a lot together. These four residency boys in particular have been playing a lot since last year. And now they're playing with the teammate, they're meshing well. Earl, JC, Voris, these guys are filling the certain roles that they have to play. It looks like it's going to be Bright Wankos, their FSA for the UAP season, not Henry. So he's coming in and just providing relief minutes. Offensive rebound, put back, protect the rim. You don't have to do a lot, Bright. You don't have to carry the team because Mike is there. You just gotta come in, play spot minutes, play your role. So I'm not gonna go as far as to say that they're the clear best team in the UAAP yet, but I think in terms of depth and versatility, they might be the deepest team in the UAAP.
Agree. I really can stand by you when it comes to the personnel that they have. Just really fits the system that Coach Topex wants to run, and I think that's the luxury of having first hand. And when it comes to building, sino yung lalagay natin dito sa roster natin, they gotta even the personalities of the players just really mesh well together. Boris Marasigan is that guy that's gonna fight for you. Like if I feel like Boris Marasigan is a teammate na kapag kakampi mo, great to have him, but pag kalaban mo siya like, dito na si Boris Marasigan. Feel ko pag ganun, pag ikaw you're sa opposing school. And you need that. You need those kind of players in the squad na to have your back, no? And aside from that, not much holes when it comes to LaSalle. It looks like this is the final roster that's gonna head to the upcoming UAP season. While UP, of course, we always know that they will have a trick up their sleeve. I'm not saying there's anyone coming. You're the one who's responsible for that. I'm just saying that knowing the capabilities of the nowhere to go but up and whoever helps out with UP's recruitment, I won't count them out just yet. It's just July. Oh my gosh, it's in 2 months. UAP is in 2 months. It's in 2 months. Gonna realize okay, no, but you'll never know, man. Knowing how Coach Gold just manages to create something out of nothing, even though if they just got the new player weeks or even a month before the start of the actual season.
Yeah, I think that UP DLSU game on Sunday is going to be telling. One, I'm curious if Ramagat will play. He had not played in that CSB game on the quarters on Friday. By the way,
May injury ba? Anong sabi?
stomach bug.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. He got sick though apparently after also they came back from Serbia. But UP barely scraped by CSB without an FSA, and that's with
Yeah.
Umali also having 0 points, I think, in 10 minutes of action. Liwag played very well. Liwag was able to score at will in the paint, do his work, which I like Noruka. I think he's a good offensive weapon, but I don't think he's, a Malik kind of rim protector. Or I think even Udodo is a better rim protector, defender.
More
Definitely not
offensive-minded si
QMB.
si Francis. More
Yeah, yeah.
offensive-minded talaga si Noruka.
And deep siya, deep yung offensive game niya because he has the turnaround jumper, he has those electric dunks, he has those floaters, he can take opposing big men off the dribble. And there will be a point in the UAP season where he sees moves or he has a game when he has like 24 points and we're like, wow, he is offensively gifted. But the rim protection, I think, still needs to catch up. So we'll talk about UP a little more in a bit. But I also want to get to UST now. They also secured their semifinal spot by beating Ayak. Interesting because Padrigal was 1 out of 11 and Cabanero was 3 out of 12. So that's 4 out of 23 combined. But they got contributions from Crisostomo, who had 13 rebounds and 17 points and 6 of 12 shooting. And a guy both you and I like, Koji Buenaflor, 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 7 rebounds. I was very impressed by the way UST played against DLSU. Okay, I took down some notes. First, that other high school recruit, Boksit, knocked down like two 3-point shots, made some good plays. I think he's gonna get a role with the team this season. Let's see what else. They have firepower. UST plays with pace eh. May pacing sila. They push the tempo. They spread the floor. They kick it out to open shooters. Ang kulang na lang sa kanila, in my opinion, is the inside scoring. When their three-point shots started to miss against DLSU late in that fourth period, they lacked that inside threat. Like a Collins Akowe type of player. And we haven't seen Collins with this team yet. So it's hard to really put a rating on UST until we see them complete, which we probably won't see until the UAAP. But if they can get Collins in addition to Nick to be that inside scorers to complement the three-point shooting game, because they can wax hot, bro. Yung Crisostomo, Lemit didn't play that game, but he's a shooter. Fortsky has been more missed than hit lately, but if he gets it going, who
Actually,
knows?
unpopular opinion na, but Fortsy has been more miss
Yeah,
when it comes to the field goal percentage. Dating back to
it's
last
been
year, this
bad.
season,
Yeah,
the dito sa FilOil, his field goal percentage is 25%.
it's bad. Yeah,
That's
it's
incredibly low.
exactly. But guys like Kyle Parnada have stepped up. Ice
Yeah,
Danting,
Kyle
what, six
played well
three
kanina.
pointers. So, madami silang perimeter threat. And I do think Forsky will eventually figure it out. Maybe he won't get up to like 45%, maybe like 38%, at least like better than like 25. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have a lot of like perimeter scorers. They just need that inside scorer. And Nick is that guy, but then he can't be the only guy, and that's why you need a co-ep. Like, with all due respect to Osang, Peter played pretty decent. He rebounded the ball pretty well. He's been playing better as of late. He's been playing better since Akowe committed to UST. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Di yun
Um,
coincidence.
yeah, but Peter's not that give the ball to him in the paint and he can get you buckets type of guy near the rim. Eh. I think Collins can be that guy. But like I said, we won't know how good they are until we see them probably come September na.
Yeah, completely agree. And I wonder how that FSA battle is going to be. Or I'll be surprised if Osang gets the spot, knowing Akowe has more hype heading into this summer, despite being one of the last key recruit to say his commitment for a school.
Well, with what they invested in him, I'm guessing he will be part
Wala ko
of
alam
the
dyan. Wala ko
lineup.
alam dyan. Kung may
Meaning
wala ko
time
alam
and
dyan.
development and,
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yun naman pala. Di mo clarify.
So, what's stopping UST from being a championship contender? We answered this question also last time we did the podcast, but after seeing more games, it's like parang they're in the cusp eh. You know what I'm saying? Na parang they're there. Ang lapit na. And content na lang, and maybe is it a win against DLSU? Because they beat UP na. Now, to be fair, UP didn't have Abadiano, I think, in that game, so UP wasn't complete. And UP got off to a very slow start. But they have beaten UP at least, right? I was thinking if they beat DLSU the other day, oh, then we have to put them there now. But here, if they can beat NU, because NU is one of those teams they'll be competing for in the Final Four, and then give a good fight or maybe even win the finals? Because I think they'll advance. I mean, I give NU a legit chance also, but I think UST, my guess right now is they'll advance. But if they can give a good fight, I think they should at least kind of enter, maybe not all the way there, but halfway there. I really hope the FilOil finals is a best of three, actually, because I'd
It
like
is a
to
best of
see.
three based dun sa schedule na binigay sa atin, di ba? Parang
Based on the
best of three.
schedule, yeah. Pero
Oh,
the other day when I went to the arena,
ano sabi?
we were told, well, I was told na it's still being decided whether tuloy yung best of three na yan or magiging knockout game lang yan. But where are
Ah,
you
okay, so they can
with
still change it,
UST?
yeah.
Yeah, where are you with UST right now? Because we're gonna talk about Ateneo also in a bit, and I think Ateneo is gonna emerge as a dark horse contender, but that's also kind of what UST is now.
Yeah, I mean, for UST naman, Navs, ever since they got Akowe, they were able to go up a level higher. It makes them a contender for the championship, really. If there's umabot na sila sa point na pag pinag-usapan natin UST siguro by the end of the UAP season and they make it to the finals, it's a matter of, okay. Ganun na, it's more of, okay, they were able to enter. Hindi yung parang, huh? Cinderella story. It's not a Cinderella story. They have the pieces. Akowe looks like the final one depending on how he meshes well with the rest of the guys. Pero feel ko with Fortsky feeding you the ball, I feel like he's gonna have a great rookie year. Even win Rookie of the Year even. Wait, pwede pa ba manalo ng Rookie of the Year yung mga FSAs? Oo,
Yeah,
no?
if you're straight out
Pwede.
of high wait,
High school.
MVP
MVP
no
kasi
eh. Yeah.
MVP no eh. So yeah, that's something we should clarify.
Maybe
If
rookie of
even
the year,
Rookie of
yeah. Wala.
yeah.
Stupid rule by the way. Anyway. So
Dali na
so
naman tayo eh.
so that's where you are with
Oh.
Akoe na parang
They are a
you think
championship
he's the
contender.
missing
They are a
piece? Yeah,
contender.
you think he's
I
the
feel like
missing
he's the
piece.
missing piece. Yeah, I feel like he's the missing piece. He's I based on what I
But
have seen from the juniors, he's better than Peter Osar.
But are we underrating the transition from juniors to college? Because we know that in college it's different. Diba? It's easier to post up Racine Kane, although Racine Kane gave him quite a challenge. But it's easier to
Actually
post
did.
up Racine Kane in the finals compared to trying to post up a Mike Phillips or a Omar John.
I feel like there's only one guy that could physically match up with Collins, and I think that's Mike Phillips. That's one. And but Divine Adili could give him some fits as well. I, I know that for a fact. I've seen what I've seen, and but other than that, believe ko kay ako eh, Navs, I've watched a lot of juniors games. Kasi sa FilOil lang madalas eh. Eh malapit lang ako sa FilOil, 'di ba? So maybe it's because of those games that I've seen him in makes me believe that the transition from high school to college will be easy for Colin Sakoe. It's a bit of a hot take. Syempre naman na iba talaga yung transition from high school to college. But for him, siguro now is maybe 9 and 7. 9.7 rebounds. 9.7 rebounds, 1.5 blocks a game. 54 from the field if we're just gonna throw out some stats there on what I think would be the rookie year of a Colin Sakoe.
I think
Pwede.
I think maybe like 11 points, 13 rebounds.
11 and 13 first year.
Yeah, yeah, because they'll be relying on him and mabilis yung pace eh. Mabilis yung
Fine, let's just
pacing.
say 10 and 10.
Yeah.
10 and 10. Double
Somewhere
double.
there,
Double
somewhere
double. Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah. Why not?
O-
Siguro
o-
maybe it's harsh yung 9 and 7. Maybe double double. 10 and 10.
Okay, so theoretically, let's say Akowe gives you gawin na natin 11 and 11.
Yeah,
Shoots
yeah, sige,
like
double double. Yeah.
yeah, shoots like 56% from the field, maybe like a 50% free throw shooter.
Oh.
Plays like 29 to 30 minutes a game and gives you rim protection and second chance yung intangibles then you have to consider that. So let's say you get all of that from Akowe. Suddenly, is UST a title contender? Are we there yet? Because we're forgetting, or rather, we have to remember that you still need a closer, you still need a go-to guy, a go-to play down the stretch. So who do you go to? Are you going to Fortsky? Are you going to
I'm
Nick?
going to Nick. I'm going to Nick.
Chrysostomos gotten better. I
He's the
like the
second option. I feel like Jello would be the second one because Fortsky talaga has to be the one setting it up. Fortsky has to be the voice of that team, but he is not the guy to take that last shot. If you know what I mean, hindi siya ganun. He's not that. But all UAP level point guard for sure. Especially I think even number one when it just comes to being a floor general. Remove
yeah.
remove everything else. Yeah.
He does need to clean up the turnovers to some degree, though. There
Medyo
were some
mataas ngayon, no?
passes. Yeah, you need to clean that up because when you get to the final four, and he knows this, he won a championship with Ateneo. When you get to the final four, the finals, it becomes a possession battle. Becomes who can take care of the
Exactly.
ball, who can get second chance opportunities, who can give his team the most chances to win. So
Oh, now
as
that you mentioned
yeah,
it, I feel like Fortsky, alam mo yung mga topics sa NBA na who's a playoff riser? I feel
yeah.
like Fortsky is a playoff riser. That's my number one guy right now. Super early prediction na 10 players in the UAP sa Final Four. Who do you think will be playoff risers? I think number one,
Mm.
Padrigal for just because of that season 85 memories with Ateneo.
Yeah, I remember Xavier Lucero because it was
Is
UP
a playoff
finals.
riser.
Yeah, yeah. Xavier's another one of those guys. Xavier told me
Mm.
that year that Ateneo beat UP in 85 na, man, that guy Forsky, he's cold, bro. He's cold when he gets on those pick and
Respect.
rolls
Ooh.
late in the game. Yeah, he saw what Forsky was doing because Forsky does like for example, even like I was saying, Forsky does a lot of things that aren't seen by the stats. Like even this game against Ayak, bro, he was, messing up offensive sets, he was pushing the pace. The shooting really negates a lot of his impact because a lot of possessions it's just miss. So if that can work itself out and catch up, that will make it so much better for
Yeah.
UST. Now let's talk some Ateneo.
Yeah.
Actually, no, let's do Ateneo last. Let's do UP quickly lang.
Mm.
They beat Adamson quite convincingly a few days ago after their Serbia trip. Adamson did crawl back, make it a little bit competitive in the fourth quarter. Something, nothing, who knows? And then against CSB, they were up 6 with 2 minutes to go. They blow that lead. Final seconds of the game, Rafi Celis has a chance to tie it with a layup. Missed. CSB got the rebound. Open three-point shot. Close out by Gianni, but momentarily open was Celis. Pasok na. It was in. It looked in. And then
Wild din, no?
went out. Ma- So, narrow escape or something to be concerned about? Are you concerned about the body of work for UP lately?
They're always fielding, hindi sila complete pag sa mga ganyang games, no? And of course, CSB will always go hard for UP. Maybe it's just another game on their schedule. They came from Serbia. Um, of course, they had some lapses here in this game. Pero I won't be concerned now. For me, it's not concerning. Uh, wala si Noy Remogat being their main point guard. And CSB was really, iba talaga yung laban kapag and that team knows CSB knows that they're going up against the UAAP defending champions. Iba yung giggle nila siguro during that game as well. But yeah, all credits to CSB by the way. Di ko naman sinasabi na pinagbigyan lang sila ng UP or UP wasn't taking them seriously. Just more of ano lang talaga. They played well, but sometimes talent beats
So,
whatever you guys prepared for.
in our community group chat, a topic as of late with UP has been the play of Gianni Stevens. Is he gonna be impactful this season? Are we gonna see more of the Gianni we saw last season that was a reliever off the bench, didn't get a lot of playing time? Good performance against CSB, 12 on 6 of 11, 10 boards, 3 assists, -4 though in 27 minutes. But Abadiano got his shooting stroke back, 10 of 17 from the field, including 3 of 6 from deep, 24 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Do they need big seasons from Gianni and Jerry to go back to back? I think the answer is yes, because Jerry was
Me
really big
too.
time last season. I think Jerry more than Gianni, but I feel like they can't just rely on Naruka to be the sole big man who's producing. One of Gianni or Alter needs to be a more consistent force. Not naman saying get a double double every game, but go in there, maybe get like 8 and 7, 6 and 5. Gianni and Sean should have a combined like 14 to 15 points a game, combined 8 to 9 rebounds a game. So then if you complement that with the stats and the numbers you're gonna get from Naruka, and then of course you add the guard play of the team, then you look at UP as okay, they are formidable enough to go back to
Mhm.
back. But I feel like that is the area where they need extra production, that backup big man spot.
Yeah, for sure. And actually kay Gani is actually peaking right now, no? Now the past few games for Gani, he's been averaging a double double, right? Past 2, 3 games.
Somewhat, yeah, he's been
Yes,
providing good numbers, yeah.
and the confidence of that one, I think the training from Serbia as well did some wonders to him. I'm a believer of that guy, and but they have a big, not big man problem, but it's something that they need to address, something that needs shoring up, if I must say. Hindi naman natin sasabihin na it's a major weakness. But if pagpapapili tayo, anong kailangan ayusin ng UP sa lineup nila or needs more strengthening, it's definitely the big man lineup. Agree on that one. Pero napaparod ko si Seven Gagate with UP Navs. Believe mo, I'm turning into a believer of Seven Gagate. Especially in the short spurts of minutes na binibigay sa kanya. But
Yeah.
in those minutes, he's making the most out of it. I don't know, just for me.
And let's remember then, this is only his second season, even if it's technically his third year in UP
Oh
because
yeah, it's
he
the
missed last
yeah.
season with a hand fracture. So this is like a third year player going on his sophomore season. Now, I'm not sure if the minutes are quite there yet. So I don't expect to see that breakout seven Gagate season or campaign until next year when I believe the rotation well, who knows who UP is going to recruit, right? Actually, no, maybe not even next year because you have Payosing and Pre coming in. So maybe the year after that. But what you want to see from Seven is incremental improvements. Now, okay, first season mo sa UP, you weren't really a factor. You weren't part of the rotation. Okay, third year mo, second season, come off the bench, have a few games where you can provide. Next year, be a reliable backup option. And then when you get to your fourth season, that's when you become like a key part of the rotation talaga. I think that's the progression that Seven has to go through.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish that Remogat would play on Sunday. Now, obviously, if he's not fully recovered yet, he shouldn't push it. This isn't the UAAP. And coming back from a stomach bug quickly isn't always the best idea. We just saw Kristaps Porzingis struggle when he came back with that virus he had in the NBA. So if this kinds of things happen to NBA players, you can only imagine for the college kids here in the Philippines as well, right? It's difficult. But the last time Remogat faced LaSalle when he was with UP in FilOil, let's just say he struggled, 'di ba? Against Baclaan and Cortez, he didn't exactly have a great game. So, if he is healthy and ready to go, his performance is something I'm gonna be watching for when UP faces LaSalle on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Uh, Also for Gani, like on top of that, Gani, this will be a test again for him to see how he fares against Mike Phillips again after facing each other in the regular season, for lack of a better term, for FilOil. And definitely I will be there. I haven't watched much, what do you call this, FilOil games in person. I watched them all online. Pero I'm definitely gonna break that streak for the UP versus LaSalle matchup. When is that again? That was Sunday?
Sunday, 6 p.m., 4 p.m. is UST NU. So I won't be there on Sunday. I'll
Ah,
be
wala ka.
out of town. I'll be out. Yeah, and that's why
Halatang
that's
umiiwas ka sa akin, min.
no, but that's also why
Kakahalata
I'm
ka.
really hopeful na maging best of three because if Wednesday yung finals and knockout game, I'll miss that too. I'll be out of
Ah,
town.
actually, okay.
Man, I need to improve my like out of town booking skills. Man, I need to remember. It's really hard also because you never know sometimes the schedule. Diba? But if it is a best of three finals, I'll be there for game two and game three if necessary. Who knows though? I'll be watching the game from the balcony of the resort I'll be, hopefully with the beach view. The beach is my view. I'll get better analysis. I'll be smarter away. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about Ateneo now. So you got to watch Ateneo's two tune-up games against SGA. They didn't win any game, but they performed well. They were impressive, right?
Against SGA, yeah, definitely. They were really impressive. The first game, they only lost by 12, and that was without Divine Adili and without Dom Escobar. First game, Lazo played. And if people are asking, how would you describe uh Lazo
Escobar.
play?
Or
No,
Lazo.
no, no.
Okay,
Lazo
Lazo.
muna.
Okay.
Lazo muna. We'll go to Escobar later because he was incredible. Lazo is like a more composed Lian Ramiro.
Oh, is
A
that
more
so?
that's a the comparison I was able to get from watching that game.
And
He
he's
doesn't
taller
force
too,
thing.
right?
Parang same height lang sila
Same
ni
height lang.
Lian.
Okay,
Parang
okay.
same line. Or maybe an inch taller si Lazo because of, I think, the hair. But they're pretty much the same height. But when it comes to the play, he doesn't force anything. Coach Tab kept him on the floor for like 15 to 17 minutes during that time. He was holding his own against Sina Manong, against Sina Brickman. And you could sense na one and done player talaga siya kasi hindi siya nagpapanik just because they're trying to trap him. And he's just chill about it and just going through the motion and just makes the right reads, actually. Talking about Lazo. More on SGA. You want to go to Escobar now? You want any
Wait on. So
specific question?
the second game, Escobar and Adili played, and
They
Ladi
were there
played
na.
both games, and the other guys, Tuano and everything. Second game, Ateneo only lost by three, if
They
I'm
only lost
remembering
by
correctly.
3.
And they had a chance to tie the game. Gamber was wide open for a three, right?
Yeah, so Coach Tab designed a great final timeout play to free up Gamber for that left corner three. The imports were confused. Even Coach Charles acknowledged, and that was a good play to Coach Tab. It's just that Gamber was wide open. He missed it. But the ball, yung same yung parang kay Celis, yung tres niya, just rattled out. And everybody was holding on to their chairs, at least from the SGA side na, oh no, magta-tie game ba to? 83 all. But luckily for SGA, they won by 3. But I think some snippets that I can remember from that tune-up was that it's really in the minutes that Escobar was there, he really had a positive impact. Walang sayang nagalaw
And SGA was
pagdating kay
complete in both these
No,
games.
sa second game wala lang si Manong. Kiefer was not there.
Ah,
But Robertson was here. First game wala si Robertson.
and Escobar
Robertson was
scored
here
an
na.
end one on Robertson, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I remember that play, first time to see Escobar. So yan, pasok siya. First play may tumira sa Ateneo. I forgot who. I thought it was gonna be a defensive board because it's the Robertson brothers were there nakaabang. So dun sa ilalim, Dom was in between. So isip ko, okay, it's gonna be sandwich between those two. This guy just out jumped those two, grabbed the ball, uh, bumped Andre, and then I think si Andre reached out his hand to stop Dom from going up, clipped him from the arm and one. So I go, oh wow,
Wow.
I did that. Well, what a start. Sabi ko, alam ko it's a tune-up game, but that's how you make an impression, diba? That's how you may mga some Ateneo fans doon na siguro I think I'm sure those are families uh of the
Players.
players there. Yeah, for sure. Syempre invited mga yun. And they were all like, wow, this Escobar guys is good. This Escobar, yun yung mga narinig mo mga usapan ng mga tatay. And sabi ko, and I was
Man.
like, this dude is
So,
coming off an ankle injury. 60% pa lang daw siya. Based from,
wow.
yeah, he's coming from an ankle injury. That's why he
What's
didn't
his
play
UAP
down. No.
com? What's his UAP com?
Okay, so people were saying Dwight Ramos, diba? And I could
I heard
say
that
na
too, yeah.
because of it's more of the body type, no, it's a wide base,
Six
two
four.
guard, 6'4", has shooting, could drive, has a mid-range jumper. Meron siyang bantay niya ata si ano yun eh, si DJ Fenner. So Fenner is like a 6'4" guard.
Mm.
Post na sa poste si Escobar, bag, turn around, fade away, pasok. Sabi ko, oh, he has that. Sabi ko, against Fenner. Yung mga imports namin, magigets kung ginawa niya kay Brickman because Jason Brickman is 5'8".
Yeah.
'Di ba? Pero ginawa niya kay Fenner, bro, 6'4", kahit si DJ Fenner.
Did you get to
And
see his final stats sa stat sheet, si Escobar?
okay, so when it comes to the stats, Ateneo was only tracking their stats. Sadly, but gets ko naman, they chose not to share it kasi it's yung may mga heart and hustle. They recorded those stats, yung
Heart
mga yun.
analytics, yeah.
They, analytics, they couldn't share that. They kept, gets ko naman. And I was like, okay, no problem. There was, kala ko may nagre-record sila ng stat sheet doon sa gitna ng table. They were just recording the score. So I go, di nila din-indicate yung rebound, sino yung nag-assist, wala. They purposely didn't leave it out there talaga. Wala. It's just the score per quarter. Even
But
SGA didn't bother
if you
to
had to
record that.
gauge based on the performance of Escobar, like when you saw him scoring and playing the game, if you had to gauge, like what's the, part of where he finished?
Hmm.
12 to
Like
14, somewhere.
wait, 3, 6, nasa na? Siguro nasa 10, 12 ata points. 10
Mm.
to 12 points. From memory lang to from all the plays that I've seen him na ano. He had a 3, he had an end one, free throw, fadeaway jumper, tapos may isang layup. Tapos for sure, may time na lumabas ako to to pick up something sa car. And he was there on the floor during that time. So baka nakaisa siya doon. So I think 10 to 12 is a good gauge without since walang stats na shinare,
Right.
nor
And
even na written, wala.
so we're looking at a potential Ateneo five-man unit to close a game out of a Adili, assuming he stays out of foul trouble. Ladi, who we haven't really talked about yet, but we know he's a beast. We've watched it.
He's been consistent for the 2 games. He's been Andre Robertson was matched up to him majority of the time.
Oh, and he was
Si
still
Ladi.
scoring.
And he was still scoring, but not the same efficiency now we
Impact.
see
Yeah, of
from
course.
Andre Robertson,
That's
man.
an NBA. That was an NBA
All
stopper.
NBA. His job in the NBA is to stop the best offensive play. Alam na ng mga fans mo yan, Navs. And oh yeah, go ahead with your 5. Yeah, I'll confirm
Um,
or
and then Tuano. So Tuano Ladi, Adili, Bahay, Escobar. I'm guessing that would be the closing five.
We saw that five. It's a matter of kailan pinasok, 'di ba? So di ko ma-share 'yun kasi baka sabihin nila, "Oh, you're sure?"
Right.
Ano? But we did see that five. We did see that five. We
And
saw
then
that five.
maybe you put Gamber if he's got a hot hand that day.
Yes, or even you sometimes see Ian if you want for defense, 'di ba? It depends kung anong need
Yes.
eh.
Or
It depends on anong
Lazaro
need
once,
eh.
yeah, depends. So Ateneo also to some degree they can be malleable also because I'm not sure if they use this yet, but they could have lineups with Ladi at the five and you just absolutely spread the
You could put
floor.
Escobar at the four, pero Escobar was used as a two or three in that SGA game. Then again, this is SGA. This is with world imports, which
Sheesh.
definitely could change. The Ateneo lineup could change with against the UAP team, diba?
Yeah.
So I feel like Navs, I see Escobar could also play the four out of necessity. I think sabi
Right.
niya sa podcast mo, 'di ba, sa interview mo na how he was
Mm-mm.
being used as the four daw, 'di ba? He wasn't used as the four sa SGA kasi it's a special case. It's a completely different case. So you can't really what I saw na lineup dun, hindi natin masasabi na baka na gagamitin ni Coach Tab for the same ano. But who knows, right? He just might want to blitz one team na Escobar as the two guard. What a nightmare.
So let's end the episode with our updated rankings. Who's your 1 to 8 right now in the UAP?
1 to 8?
Okay, let's do how many legit Final Four contenders do you have right now?
Five. Whoa. I have five. I have five.
I
Five.
have five too.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think we have
so
this.
from the
If
five, how
VJ
do you
stayed
rank?
with FEU, it would have been six.
It would have been so. Who's how do you rank the five right now?
LaSalle,
Same,
UP. Oh,
same.
wait.
Oh, wait, you have UP over LaSalle or LaSalle over UP?
No, UP pa rin. Ay, sorry. LaSalle still. LaSalle will be my number one unless UP brings in a QMB caliber type of
Unless
big
UP
na.
beats them on Sunday.
Hindi naman. Feel ko hindi rin. Like, okay, even if UP beats LaSalle on Sunday, it might just close the gap, but the ranking will still remain the same for me. So,
So LaSalle,
no LaSalle,
UP,
UP, Ateneo,
Ateneo. Yeah, I think I have Ateneo as three also. And then I think
Suste.
I have UST 4 and U5.
If I didn't see Escobar and the guys and Lazo and the rest of those players, siguro UST could have been 3 right now. Pero nakita ko, ano eh, Kito Ateneo eh. So, gotta put them at 3.
That's the most Ateneo thing, no? Everyone's competing against each other in the FilOil. Yeah, we'll be here competing against strong group in two closed door matchups against high quality players to get ready for the season. Ateneo is gonna take a lot of teams by surprise. Ateneo is gonna take a lot of people by surprise. People are gonna be like, "Di ba last place yung mga yan last year?" And trust me, I think they'll be in the final four. Nico, thanks for joining me, man. We both
Thanks,
have
bro.
places to go to. Catch you soon and hopefully it's a best of three, the final, so I can see you at the
Yeah,
finals
para
for sure, man.
makapanood pa tayo, yeah.
For sure, for sure. All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
bro.
Nico.
Thank you.